r/AskReddit. Why don't you talk to your once best friend anymore? Moved a long distance away and just sort of grew apart. TL. Doctor, she couldn't plan anything. Couldn't stick to plans. And after attempting to sabotage my birthday plans, she got super mad and badmouthed me to anyone who'd listen for the next 4 years. My high school best friend. We weren't very alike at all. Anna was this super bubbly and cheerful feminine girl. And I was a sarcastic pile of nerd in vaguely human form. A kind of geek tomboy. We actually meshed pretty well. But from the get-go, she was the kind of person who'd turn up to parties on the wrong day because she'd get mixed up. Her parents didn't like me much because I was into heathen stuff like Lord of the Rings. Anna couldn't form an opinion if it wasn't exactly the same as her dad's. I remember in 2006, she argued vehemently that there was no future in IT because her dad said it was a waste of time. Facts didn't matter if her dad didn't like them. We stayed close until after school ended, and since our birthdays were only a week apart, we always had a combined party. 3 weeks before my 18th, I got tickets to a convention. I called her that day to let her know that we'd have to do separate parties. I asked if she wanted to come to the con with me. She said no, not her thing. Cool. Literally the day my group is going, she calls to ask when she can expect us around to her place for the party and ice skating. I remind her that we are going to the con. She loses her hit at me, gets real nasty over the phone and hangs up. Calls everyone else to try to convince them to ditch the con and come to hers. They all say no. She calls my parents and tries to get them to stop me from going and tells them I'm on drugs. Yeah, no. Went. But the whole thing was soured by her reaction. I don't think she ever spoke to me again herself. But I'd often meet people in my social circles who treat me like trash because of what you did to Anna. Took ages for people to stop thinking I was a complete and utter itch. Maybe they just grew up. Either way, bit of a hit end to a 6-year friendship. Nerds can't be on drugs. The hit we buy costs too much. We don't have spare money. I suck Yopine for a Black Lotus card and 2 Marks rubies. We broke up. She was maid of honor in my wedding. After, I would try to make plans with her for lunch or whatever, and she always cancelled the day if never gave a reason, just oh I forgot I can't. Some other time, I realized I was the only one putting in any effort, so I just stopped trying to do things with her. I figured if she wanted to do something she'd get a hold of me. I got married in July of this year. Haven't heard from her since. From the other perspective, I'm currently a maid of honor in a wedding, and I'm pretty sure after this, I don't want to be friends with the bride anymore. She is so nasty and only cares about herself. And I understand weddings are tough, but you shouldn't treat people horribly because of them. Did you, by chance, turn into Mega Bridezilla that was breathing fire at her friends? I get that weddings are stressful, but I think how a person deals with others in times of stress is a good indicator of their character. So a bride harassing her friends is not okay. I grew up. She didn't. You know what they say about how you don't always burn your bridges, but rather let them fall apart due to structural decay. That's pretty much it. I totally read burgers instead of bridges and it still kind of worked. His junkie girlfriend who was on probation stole $300 from me and abused my cat. My former friend refused to believe she could do such a thing and got pissed off at me about it. Former friend decided that free BJS and housekeeping from the junkie on probation outweighed 20+ years of friendship with me. Edited for clarity. Clean his house and blow him. Problem solved. But who will abuse the pets? She died unexpectedly 2 months before she turned 18. I was devastated and have not had many friends since. 2 months before we graduated, my best friend died in a single car accident on the highway coming back from his girlfriend's house and going to his dad's place so they could check out his future college's baseball team the next day where he was going to play. I don't cry about this anymore, but I'll always miss him. One thing I will never get over though is the fact that I drank and drove that night while he was completely sober. I'm sorry for your loss, that sucks. Wow, so many people comment with slept with my so. I thought is a cliche from movies really. It's a tale as old as time. A song as old as rhyme. He became a domestic abuser. Started hitting his girlfriends in high school. No thanks. Amateur. Everyone know you have to wait until you're 35 and married with a couple kids before you start beating your spouse. It's really hard for them to leave then. Yep. And a true professional knows how to tear a woman down without even touching her. It's all about the mind games. It gets you what you want and keeps you out to jail. I lost my friends when my son died. Instead of being supportive, they harassed me to come out drinking or go to the bar like I had just been through a breakup and needed to go out. No. Literally 24 hours ago I buried my baby in the ground, ya ducks. What is even more ducked? I said I know you guys mean well, but I don't want to leave the house right now. My child just died. I'm losing my mind. You can come over or even watch TV with me. No one came. No one called. I was a rich for shooting down going to the bar. Literally. The 4 girls I knew my whole life bailed on me when I needed them the most. It hurt. It hurts still, but duck them is all I can say. People's true colors come out when you go through a tragedy and it sucks. Edit. Wow, sorry guys. I didn't see all the upvotes I got. I'm having kind of a hard day already and I'm staying busy. Thanks for the kibbed words, and I'm going down the line to answer questions. To clear one thing up, I did ask specifically for them to come also. I had a bereavement counselor straight away. The hospital has her come to your house even. She's an amazing woman and taught me how to ask for what I needed. Unfortunately, people still react very poorly to such a devastating loss. I'm in bereavement groups. Some on FB. One I run. One that's 20,000 deep even. I use that one a lot to see the similarities us bereaved moms share. It is echoed by all the huge loss of friends and even family that hurts so bad. Edit. I'm getting sleepy. I have tried to clarify and answer everything. I will write this final one real quick. If I missed something you want to know I will answer in the morning. I was 23 when my baby passed at 6 weeks old and the youngest of the group. The other 4 were 24, 27. One was a mother at that time and had been since late teens. Now there are 3 moms in that group. The only one without kids did get married last month and does want some. When I say they were asking me to go drinking, it wasn't so we could chill and talk, it was stop being so boring. Get dressed up, we are going to the clubs. Like I said, they were playing like when one of us had a bad breakup. It started 24 hours after I buried my son and they gave up on me in about 2 weeks. Nobody called or sent a text if it didn't involve partying. Nobody asked how I was or took up my repeat offers to just please come over. I said fine, I need to talk, I will call myself. I got 2 calls back within days. They were about their drama. One was cheating and she didn't like her BF anyways. Another was fighting with one of my closer friends and wanted me to choose her side. So I did get snippy at that time and asked if they thought I cared. I said my son just ducking died. I'm losing my mind. No one calls or picks up until now and this is what I get. Thrown into a fight and cheating? I have to go. One of them had a tragedy 2 years later and lost a parent. I attended both services and was briefly acknowledged. Her parents and I were still very close. I still attempted to be there, but was shut out. One drunken night she did call and say she was sorry and thanks for being there for her when she wasn't for me. That was my only reach out from any of them. I wish no ill will upon anyone, that's awful. Saying duck them though is easier than saying why. I learned life is too short for petty drama and people who don't really love you. Cliche as it sounds, it's true. I have good friends now. Thanks for all the comments, they mean a ton. I love all the ones that say they would have sat with me or let me cry in my alcohol. You all can still come on over. Thanks for the love today, Reddit. That's what hurts the most. You only ask them to give 10% and they can't even do that. I was partaking in some festivities of the druggish nature, and when I passed out, she proceeded to take advantage of her ducked up boyfriend and other best friend. direct them to play with my body, and give me oral live on chat roulette all while I was passed out. I shouldn't have to mention to friends, hey, if at any point I'm not conscious and can't give verbal consent, don't date me please. The other two participants were very remorseful when they found out what they did. She thought it was hilarious and told us after we were all sober. She was a very emotionally abusive person in general. So when she told me what happened and was laughing, it wasn't out of the question that she was just making it up to provoke me. So for about a year I went around thinking it was a joke. A fight broke out between one of the participants and one of my roommates, and when I protected him, I was hit with, "Why the duck are you protecting him? He ducking 8du." Then I spent the day with my world turned upside down because I couldn't believe I maintained these 3 friendships for a year. Completely clueless. I spent the day confirming and getting the whole story. It ducking sucked. To this day she doesn't think she did anything wrong because she didn't participate in the actual ape. I think what she did was much worse. He's become more and more toxic. I still love him like a brother, but every single thing he does is a cry for help or attention, then won't accept help or attention. He has become your stereotypical depressed edgy atheist neckbeard teenager. I didn't realize how badly he was affecting my life until recently, after spending some time not hanging out with him, but hanging out with my other friends and girlfriend. That doesn't change the fact that he's like a brother to me, and I owe my life to him. I'm just not sure how to help him at this point. He begs and begs for attention and help in roundabout ways, but as soon as I try to help he completely ignores it, or plays the whole "oh I'm fine dude, stop trying to help," but then the next day sends me or my girlfriend a text about how his depression is so bad. It hurts man, it really does. All I want to do is help him, but he won't accept any, and I have to sit on the sidelines as he slowly destroys his own life. To add on to all that, he is a compulsive liar, especially when telling stories of real life situations. We'll be talking, and he'll be telling a story about work, and we'll be "oh yeah," and then I yell "duck you" to my boss. And it's just like, no you didn't man. You can't even talk to people you've known for years because you have social anxiety. I know I haven't been the greatest friend, but I always try my best man, I do. I think I've gotten better over the years, I really do. It's just this constant cycle of, "Hey dude, something's wrong." What is it? Don't be afraid to tell me man, it's okay. "Oh nothing dude, never mind, but there's this really hot chick at my new job." Then he proceeds to ask out the girl after a month or so. He's a nice guy now, but he's also a nice guy, so things go south, and then he gets super depressed after a rejection.